A substitute teacher told her first graders that Santa isn't real.
Oh shit.
Michael Rash.
How old are these kids?
These kids are young. We're talking about 6 and 7-year-olds.
Okay. Oh no. All right, go on.
Michael Rash, the Cedar Hill School Principal in Montville, sent a letter to parents and apologized to them regarding the issue of a substitute teacher who told the class that Santa is not real. He said that he is aware of the situation and spoke to the substitute teacher about her poor judgment. A parent named Lisa Simek said that the teacher told students Santa isn't real and parents just buy presents and put them under their tree. She added that the teacher tried to ruin the spirit of other holidays. And by that, I mean she went ahead and washed it all out. She said that the Easter Bunny is not real, the Tooth Fairy is not real, and just went on and on.
So, I mean, isn't her job description to teach the children about what's true and what's not true? Isn't that part of her... Like, technically, she didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I mean, as a substitute teacher, I think that your job is to follow the curriculum. Like, she's not even the actual teacher, and she doesn't have the credentials to be an actual teacher. But we're talking about six-year-olds here, and I mean,
right.
While some people may choose not to perpetuate the myth of Santa, I mean, there are some who do, and it's not anybody else's job or duty to reveal the truth to them, especially in this situation, in my opinion.
Wait, okay, so would you think she did something wrong?
Yeah, I do.
What if she told the students that, hey, evolution is true and anything else is not true, and like creationism is not true? Then the parents got offended, like, oh, you're ruining the spirit of Christianity to our children. What's the difference between her saying that to the kids and saying Santa is not real? Like, would you be offended? Would you think she did something wrong if she told the kids that evolution is real? True?
No, not at all. I would have no problem with her taking a positive stance, saying that evolution is true. I have no problem with that. As a matter of fact, I believe that evolution should be taught as science. But at the same time, I don't believe that she should take a negative stance, a negative position, and say that evolution is real, therefore creationism is not real. I don't believe that you need to go that far. I believe that your job is to educate and not unlearn.
But isn't it also science that a man can't, go in one night and bring gifts to go through a chimney and bring gifts to children all over the world over one night and flying with flying reindeers? Isn't that also science?
Yeah, sure, but I mean it's not a scientific topic. I mean, as far as I know, I mean, I didn't take metaphysics in.
But why does it have to be why does it have to be just positive? So if your teacher says like, where you say something scientific, but said something can't happen scientifically, would you be an issue with that? Like, for example, if one of the students said, "Oh, the sun will live forever," and the teacher said, "No, the sun is not going to live forever. It's not going to be the same way forever." Are you going to say to the teacher, "Oh, why are you saying something negative instead of saying it in a positive way? Like, why do you have to say something is not true?" Like, isn't every time you're making a positive claim, you're also technically making a negative claim again about, I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about this.
No. I think by making a positive claim of evolution, you are giving the kids the tools to think logically and to use the context clues that they've been given to come to that conclusion themselves. But I don't believe that it's either our job nor is it productive to tell somebody that because A is right, B is wrong. I just believe that we just teach A is right, they will come to B is wrong on their own.
I don't know. So if somebody asks, I don't know. Like if a student asks you, "Is this possible?" and the answer to that question is no, it's not possible, you wouldn't tell that student that this is not possible? Like, I mean, that's a weird standard, I think.
I mean, if they're asking, then I would definitely expose the science. But to make something declarative like that, I believe that it's better to. I believe it's better in that position to take an agnostic approach to things. To say that we.
Actually, I made my mind. I'm supporting this teacher. I know this, I'm gonna get shit for this. I'm gonna support.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, because your job is to teach children that what's bullshit and what's not, and she told them.
You also have to remember, this is a publicly funded school. What if she had breached that line of separation of church and state?
What do you mean?
What if she had?
Santa is not a church.
I'm aware. I'm saying, what if she had? What if instead of these being these mythological holiday creatures, that these were mythological religious creatures, and one of the students there who were in adherence to that religion and took offense?
Wait, separation of church and state means that you can't say Jesus is not God in the United States, because that's
no. It means that outside of a theology class, that you don't bring religion into the classroom, especially whenever it's federally funded, unless you're Texas and then you put Moses in a textbook.
Okay, I don't know about that, but the Santa is not a religion, so I'm going to focus on Santa, and the teacher's job is to, teach the children, make children realize what's bullshit and what's not, and I don't know.
What's the difference between a Santa Claus belief and a religion?
Again, I agree
because
with you. They're both bullshit.
It still revolves around a central figure who possibly existed at one time is attributed with supernatural.
So if you want to go there, I agree. None of them should be protected. So if I would be in favor of if the country allowed the science teacher to say that the existence of Jesus as a God and somebody that could that could heal the sick or rise from the dead is scientifically impossible, I would be in favor of science teachers being able to say that in a science class. So
at the same time, though, we also have to remember that this is a classroom setting. We have to remember that the curriculum has to reflect the cognitive abilities of these children. So if the children aren't able to conceive these abstract ideas and concepts that you're trying to teach them, I mean, then it's not productive. As a matter of fact, it's counterproductive.
Yeah, I'm my position on this is not very firm because I haven't thought about it that much. But right now, I'm gonna support the teacher for now until people convince me otherwise. Let me see what people think. The top comment is good. Don't lie to your kids. Paul is saying good. Now on to God.
Yeah. Don't lie to your kids. Don't lie to your kids. But that doesn't mean you get to tell everybody else's kid that that's a lie.
So lie to other people's kids.
Whatever. I lie to other people's kids all the time. I'm like, your mother loves you.
Okay. Oh, wow. That got dark. John is saying they hired a teacher. They got one. My hat's off to you. Great job. Keep up the good work. Oh, wow. So people... Okay, Thomas is saying, Jesus, that's harsh. Everyone laughing at this probably don't have kids. Why not let them live their imagination until the age of reason? Santa isn't a harmful lie, just something fun. Yeah, but the thing is that as a parent, I would not tell my kids that Santa is real. I would teach them how it's possible to enjoy imagining things while knowing it's not real. Like, teach them that you can play pretend, and it's fine.
Okay,
yeah.
So if your 6-year-old had an imaginary friend and he say he came into you and he said hey, will you play with me and my imaginary friend, would you just immediately crush his imagination and say imaginary friends aren't real, your imaginary friend isn't real, and just
crush it? I would tell them that your friend is not real, but it's okay to have friends that are not real. You could still enjoy imaginary things. That's what we do when we read fiction, right? I would tell them that your friend is a very special friend because it's only real for you, No one else has access to it. It's only in your head. Okay, so it's so special that it's only your friend and nobody else's, right?
And I completely agree with that. I think that's a great way to approach it. But let me ask you this now: would you approach somebody else's children, or better yet, a classroom full of somebody else's children, the same way?
Well, I mean, if you made me if you hired me as a teacher, you already gave me access to educate your children the way I see fit. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't walk to other people's children and tell them, "Hey, Santa is your parents are lying to you. Santa is fake. God is fake," right? But if you hired me as a teacher, it's now you gave me permission to tell them what's true and what's not. I guess. I think I'm not sure. I don't know what the standards are for teacher. I've never been a teacher. Actually, I've been a math teacher before, but other than that, I don't know what the moral code and the standards are. So I'm pretty sure there's some things that you have to abide by. So I don't know.
I've done some substituting, but the longest I've ever done it was 3 days in a row, like in a row for one class. And I can't say that for those 3 days, I had a curriculum that I had to follow. I had a guideline, the textbook, things that we had to follow, and I didn't feel any need to divert from that curriculum because there was, it was set up well. So I'm thinking with these 6-year-olds that I don't believe that the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and elves and Santa were part of this. And she also crushed some of their dreams about. Have you heard of the popular Elf on the Shelf kind of Christmas gag?
No.
So there's this little stuffed elf that parents put on the shelves, and they move it around every morning, and it's kind of like magical that the elf moves around different places, but it's supposed to keep an eye on the kid and report back to Santa every night. So it'll fly back to the North Pole magically, and they can't touch it or it loses its magic. I did it with my kids for a few years, and she told them that wasn't real as well, and it's a very popular thing in North America, and I don't know. I don't feel like it was her place. Is all.
I would like to teach my kids that stories don't have to be real for you to be able to enjoy them. And in fact, I use that as a way to show them how powerful imagination could be, and use that as a way to encourage them to come up with their own stories, come up with their own imaginary worlds, and imagination is for children is very important, and this could be an excuse for them to show that, look, this is reality, this is imagination. Imagination could be fun. Playing pretend could be fun. Elizabeth is saying, "Oh, come on! Just like it's not a teacher's job to bring her religious biases into the classroom. The same goes for family's tradition. That was wrong of her. Let's let kids believe in magic." Well, Elizabeth, do you think that it's okay for a teacher to bring their truth bias into the classroom? That would be my response. There's another good comment here, but it's way too long. Anything in the YouTube live chat? I'll look at the Facebook live chat. Guys, make sure if you want me to read something to tag Atheist Republic, but Jim, have a look.
Jack McAllen says, "Good comparison. You can know ghost and the supernatural are bullshit, but still really love horror movies about that. You don't need to believe in Santa to enjoy the Christmas story." Moose Gal says, "Don't forget the Tooth Fairy and Easter Bunny too, right?" Moose Gal says, "This teacher is removed from the New Jersey school district." Yeah, she was removed from her position. Let's see. Soraya says, that's hard to happen, Jim. I would say it should be mandatory for teachers to tell that what we are celebrating is mythological. I really have to disagree. I'm sorry. Jack says, "I've always been conflicted here. I have problems with Santa because it's really not much different from religion, which is the kind of point I was trying to make. It needs indoctrination and brainwashing of a young child." Moose Gal says, "Jim, do you think parents should tell kids that Santa is real until a certain age?" No, I don't at all. My kids did not get the Santa belief from me. They got it from other kids at school, and they uh, they asked if Santa was real or what Santa was, and I was honest with them. When my kids ask me a question, I am honest with them, but I will not approach them until I feel like they are ready. And I feel like that whenever a kid is ready to know the truth and ready to or wants to distinguish truth from imagination, then that is your duty to do so. Or when you see it interfering with their
Okay,
with their life.
I changed my mind again. I wouldn't tell the kids that Santa is not real. I would just ask them questions, right?
Yeah, discovery questions.
Encourage them to be skeptical. I would like, so how do you think it's possible for like a man to go all around? Like, how does like what? Okay, that like even my own kids, I wouldn't tell them like Santa is not real. Like if they come and ask Santa is real, I would be like, okay, let's think about this together, right? So
Yeah.
he has like how many hours? How long do you think it takes for him to go to each house? How do you think reindeers could, fly? They don't have wings. What do you think? Like, keep asking them what they think, right?
Right.
How does he get down the chimney? So I would just come up with how does he fit all the gifts for all the kids in the world, and in there. I would just basically ask them questions and see what answers they come up with. So maybe that's yeah.
But again, you're not talking about a 9 or a 10-year-old. You're talking about a 6-year-old. At this point, they're going to answer everything with magic. Like, I mean, it's literally like talking to a young Earth creationist, because you're not going to get through to them and take an epistemological
it's
approach
fine.
to
Even
it.
if they come up with shitty, stupid responses because they're stupid, they're kids. As long as they're just thinking, as long as they're going through the process of thinking about it, is I think it's a good exercise. Even if the result is something dumb, I think they're exercising their brains to come up with some answer.
Atheist Republic's mission is to give atheists around the world a louder voice. In order for us to be able to continue the Atheist Republic, we need your help. If we reach 100 patrons, we'll finally be able to afford all our costs. Help us get there